Okay, so before that, I will introduce Raghvendra ji. So he is from Karnataka, Davangere, and he's practicing Vedic astrology. He's doing Ashtamangala Prashna. And in this video, we will realize like what is the other specialization in which he is working. So, like I already told you, today's topic is about the remedial measures. So we know in Vedic Jyotish we have different kind of remedies. Okay, like for example, if we read in BPHS, Brihat Parashara Vara Shastra, so there Parashara she is giving some remedies like depending on the dasha. Depending on the dasha, he is suggesting to donate rubies. Like in Surya Mahadasha, he suggests to donate ruby if Surya Dasha is not good. He is suggesting some donations, fasting. He is also suggesting some kind of pujas like Mrityunjaya mantra, to chant Mrityunjaya mantra like this. If you read Prashna Marga, so there is a complete chapter on this. So in Prashna Marga, we will see different kind of badhas. So for these badhas, author is suggesting different kinds of remedies also. So like this, also if I talk about Karma Vipaka Samhita, in which Lord Shiva is giving instruction to Goddess Parvati, he's explaining the karma vipaka, like the fruits of karma of every nakshatras and their padas. At the end of the whole story, Lord Shiva is giving, suggesting some remedies. So if you notice, those remedies are mainly related to donation or Gayatri Japa or some kind of mantra Japa, these things. So today, Raghvendra ji will tell us like some secrets about these remedies, like how to do it and what is the actual way in which we can do remedies. And we will ask some more questions like in Jyotish also we suggest remedies related to gems. So whether they are working or not, is it a good practice? Whether how to suggest these remedies, gemstones or fasting. In Jyotish also we suggest remedies related to temple visit. Like if we consult any Nadi astrologer, so at the end they suggest remedies like you have to visit this temple and that temple. So we will try to understand what is the significance, and Raghvendra is going to tell us very secret thing which I never heard before. So Raghvendra ji, so I'm welcoming you to our channel. So now
Thank
I
you.
would like to hear
Thank
you. So you can start, sir. So we will try to understand what is the significance, and Raghvendra is going to tell us very secret thing which I never heard before. So Raghvendra ji, so I'm welcoming you to our channel. So now
Thank
I
you.
would like to hear
Thank
you. So you can start, sir.
you. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bharvajini Vrati Dhinama Vitriyavat Vagyevye Namaha Shri Vedavyasa Yanamaha Adityadi Namakkara Devatabhyo Namo Namaha. Namaste to all. Today, as our nearest friend Mr. Vinayaka suggested and gave a small introduction about today's topic, about the remedial measures in an overall journey of astrology. As astrology is called as Panchama Veda, it is equal to Vedas. We do have the measures or remedial measures or the pariharas in astrology and in the Vedas and in the Puranas too, because it is strictly suggested by our ancestors, means rishis, that an issue which rises in astrology or a problem which can be created by the negative energies or by the transit of planets or by any other thing like marriage with respect to issues or with respect to finance or with respect to earning and good name in the society and all, the parihara must be, parihara means, please note down that parihara means the remedy. Parihara is an typical Sanskrit word which indicates remedy. The parihara means it must be given under the shade of two things. Those two things are, one is Jyotisha Shastra and another one is Dharma Shastra. Because anything, a ritual, a puja or a pata or a dana, a donation or anything which comes as a remedy in the astrology, it must not violate the Dharma Shastra given by our ancestors. That's why we should always keep an eye towards Dharma Shastra also before giving a remedy. Because we have lot of remedies in the Vedas, we have lot of remedies in the Puranas also, and we do have lot of remedies in Pancharatra Agama. Pancharatra Agamas are a part of Granthas given by us to eradicate all the evil things in the nature by Maharshi Vedavyasa. Maharshi Vedavyasa is the son of Parashara. He gave us 18 Puranas and he codified the Vedas into 4 parts and named it as Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana Veda. And after doing all these things, he gave us the Pancharatra Agamas in order to worship the all the rituals and anything. Coming to astrology, as we know, we have only 9 planets in astrology and we do calculate only about the 9 planets. In taking out the issues or giving remedies for the issues or to detect the problem or to do anything, we do use only these 9 planets. But while giving the remedies for these planet-oriented troubles or problems, there is small combination between planets which we get in Dharma Shastra about that. And the combination of planets is totally explained in Mahabharata by Maharshi Vedavyasa. He had given a clear calculation in the Mahabharata about the calculation of Adhika Masa and about the calculation of eclipse also and about the calculation of days, what we called as tithis. There, he says that an astrology is a thing which is totally programmed in order to maintain the peace and prosperity in the whole kingdom of a prince or king. An astrologer who stays in the palace of or in the kingdom of an king, it is an strict and mandatory duty of an astrologer to suggest the accurate parihara or the remedy for any consequences which come across the governance of the kingdom or at the battle time, or if the kingdom faces any famine, drought or anything like that. A small instance come in Mahabharata. Vedavyasa says that once Duryodhana planned to kill all the Pandavas, including their belongers, by doing an witchcraft. He had planned an witchcraft in such an extent, he brought more than thousands of sages or tantrics at that time in Dwapar Yuga. He asked them to do an witchcraft over Pandavas, including Kunti Devi. As he was the king of and the prince of that Hastinavati, automatically the sages agreed to his offer and they created a very vast amount of negative energy towards Pandavas. The energy came in the total shape of a demon. It take a total picture like a demon and came in front of Duryodhana and asked them, what is its job? What is the cause of its generation? At that time, Duryodhana strictly and within a straightforward word, he says that you must finish off all the Pandavas, including Kunti Devi, and you must also eradicate or make in trouble the persons who are helping Pandavas, because he was having an eye on Krishna also. As a result, that demon, which is created with a witchcraft energy, it's agreed for the order of Duryodhana, but it said, I'm also having two conditions. As I am generated from the Vedic and Tantric energy, I can't obey each and every order that you give to me. I should follow some of the gadgets of Dharma Shastra also. I can't trouble a person who is totally dead in nature, and I can't trouble a person who is saying and who is totally in the part of truth and who is in a discussion of Dharma Shastra. He said that as Pandavas were in Vanavasa at that time, automatically he thought they might be wandering here and there for food and shelter. No one will be held in discussion with Dharma Shastra and all in that what we say forest and all. Automatically he agreed for that. After that, the demon reached the Pandavas. At that time, as we know Mahabharata, the instance of Yaksha Prashna was generated by Lord Krishna, where all four Pandavas were made to sleep like dead bodies by that Yaksha, and the left one Dharmaraja was in an dharmika discussion or in a Shastra oriented discussion with that Yaksha. That Yaksha was neither but an Indradeva who made by Krishna to discuss with that Dharma Sabha. Automatically the demon came back and said, Duryodhana, the address which you gave to me for do my conviction and all, I didn't got anybody alive in that. I got only one person. He was busy in an discussion with related to Shastra. So I had no chance to do anything. I came back. The only chance is to eat you. I'm having the only option to finish you all. What should I do? At that time also Duryodhana, he ordered the demon to eat all the 1,000 tantrics who were there in that Yagashala, where do they perform this witchcraft. Automatically the demon ate all the 1,000 tantrics and it went back. How come this instance is related with astrology? As Yaksha Prashna was going on from the morning to afternoon or the evening session till there, that time or the muhurta when that negative energy was generated from witchcraft, that was totally a wrong time. And the time when it came before Duryodhana also, he said about a solution or an order to the demon to eat a person who is totally in the way of dharma. And automatically when the demon also came and saw that totally a pure path of truth, spirituality and equality, and the discussion about the Dharma Shastras was going on, the demon also went back. What we could learn from this is, even the negative energy, it might be created by any tantric or any person who is having a rich power. If the parihara or the remedy is within the grounds of Dharma Shastra, automatically it fails like anything. It fails like anything. That's why our ancestors and all the Varahamiracharya and the person who wrote Dharma Shastras called Muni Vedavyasa, he suggests us while giving parihara or the remedy, you must be always thorough with two parts. One is Dharma Shastra and another one is Jyotisha Shastra. Dharma Shastra says us to, gives us the total description of the ritual or the puja or snana or anything like that. But Jyotish Shastra gives us the accurate time to set that muhurta and start that ritual and to get 100% total remedy for that problem. As we know, we do follow astrology on the base of Dharma Shastra only. Sometimes what happens, in Dharma Shastra, we do have some of the regulations in performing pujas, including the clothing, the bead mala we wear, how do we sit, on what we should sit and all. But coming to Jyotishya, there are some there are some over regulations, over rules on that. Because as we know, when we come to Shani Mahardasha or Sade Sat Shani or Panchama or Ashtama Shani in our horoscopes, we do suggest to wear a black shirt or to give a black dress material as a donation or dana or anything. But in Dharma Shastra, it is strictly regulated to use the black cloth. Here, when we come to this, what to follow? Whether to follow a remedy which is an outcome of astrology or an remedy which is a part of Dharma Shastra. Here, black color is called as Shamala Varna. Shamala Varna in Sanskrit. Shamala Varna means the clouds which we see at the time of rain. A small meaning difference, and we do have many meanings for the same word in Sanskrit. Shamala Varna means it may also blue also. It may be blue also, a dark blue color shade. That's why if we are performing a Shani Shanti or giving a remedy for a person who is under Shani Mahardasha's effect, automatically rather than suggesting the black cloth, if we suggest blue one, it comes under Dharma Shastra.
Oh, okay.
These are the small things which are lightly mentioned in the Dharma Shastra, but not there is no such performance mentioned or anything which is suggested in astrology. Overall, you can see each and every granthas of astrology or anything, there you will not get any bit point of Dharma Shastra in that.
Correct.
As we know, and the main thing in astrology is in Samadhi Bhasha. Samadhi Bhasha. Samadhi Bhasha is an Vakarana type or it's a typical type of writing books which they maintained in the thousands of years ago. Samadhi Bhasha. Samadhi Bhasha means a word which is having more than 4 meanings. Our whole astrology is in Samadhi Bhasha only.
Okay, so why 4? So what is the connection of 4 and Samadhi?
No. Yeah, 4. Yeah, there is a connection. It is 4 in meaning because one is only oriented for astrology. Only. It is a typical astrological word itself. You must give an gingerly oil as a donation means you must give that oil only. There is no paryaya for that or any adjacent remedy for that. It is the main meaning. And other 3 meanings are, they might be adjusted. As I said you, black color is also called as Shamala Varna. Shamala Varna means blue also. In order to frame us within the Dharma Shastra, in order to frame the remedies within the Dharma Shastra, they had suggested us these type of 4 meanings in Samadhi Bhasha. You can see, as the people had seen the astrological granthas, there is a word in each and every part of Lagna calculation or anything Mahardasha calculation. There is a word called Purvavat. Purvavat. Purvavat means as said before. One meaning is as said before. The another meaning is the next word of the word. Purvavat. Purva means the upcoming. Uttara means which went off. Purvavat means the word which is coming in front of that word. You can go through the granthas, you will get lot of this type of things which they are suggested as in Samadhi Bhasha. The main example is the Veda mantra which suggests us, or this Nilanjana Samabhasam mantra which is written by Maharshi Vedavyasa. Nilanjana Samabhasam. This mantra, if we apply the sutra of Purvavat to this shloka, the only word Nilanjana Samabhasam, it not at all indicates Shani Maharaj. When we applied that Purvavat Sutra to Nilanjana Samabhasam, who is he? Who is Nilanjana Samabhasam? The very next word is Ravi Putram Yamagrajam. The Purva word gave us the detail about who is Nilanjana Samabhasa. Because as we know, Saturn is not having, it is not at all a self-luminous body, and it is very much dark in color. How come he is Nilanjana Samabhasa? It is totally void word for the Swarupa of Shani. Automatically they say Nilanjana Samabhasa. Why? Means he is Ravi Putra. He is a small instinct of Ravi, means Surya. Automatically, the person who is Nilanjana Samabhasa, he is nothing but the Ravi Putra, means Shaneshchara, and Yamagraja, the brother, elder brother of Yama, he is Shani. Same as we saw, this was a very small example in order to explain about Samadhi Bhasha. In the same way, in astrology also, we do have remedies within the frame of Dharma Shastra. But in our random reading, automatically we translate it to as we know, what we have knowledge, automatically we will translate the same word into same. We just makhi ka makhi. Automatically, when we go through Dharma Shastras on the word, automatically we will come to know the total framework of all the remedies. And in some remedies, I think in the person who is at most in the deathbed, and he is having his lineages, means son, granddaughter, grandson and all. If we go to an astrologer or and ask him, they say us to visit an Lord Shiva's temple, do what and all the sevas you can do, or visit the Tirupati Balaji. You shave your total head and come. This solution, this is an astrological solution, because whenever I think in Shani Dasha Rahu Bhukti or Rahu Dasha Shani Bhukti, there is a solution of making the total head bald and going for Madhukari, two to three houses every day, in order to suppress the negative energies at that time. But according to Dharma Shastra,
because of Shani as a Karaka of hair.
Yeah. That's why. And Shani is also a friend of Kali, and Kali and Shani are two friends. They both are best friends. That's why in Kali Yuga, Shani Mahardasha or Sadesat, it is a drastic changeable period of time in each and every person's life. That's why in Kali Yuga, Shani is worshipped as Shaneshwara. Along with Kali, Shani is worshipped as Shaneshwara. We don't have any other 8 planets temples in anywhere in India. Those Tamil Nadu temples, they are exception, because it came from the ancient Tamilian sculpture. They had planned it and designed that. But in Kali Yuga, there is not at all. There's in Dharma Shastra, there is no place for all the 9 planets everywhere, anywhere. You can see in the Vedic dharmashalas or in the mathas or anything ashrams, they don't keep the 9 planets. Navagraha Mandira will not at all be present in there. In Vedic temples, we don't keep any Navagraha idols. But in astrology, they suggest us to worship 9 planets as the Karaka and Adidevatas and Devatas. Coming to this balding of hair, shaving of head, what Dharma Shastra says, no person should shave their hairs unless and until they are made by the king himself or the father himself to be apart from the village or from the society. Means if they put Bahishkara, if he has been regulated by entering the society, at that time he must bald his or shave his head. And at the time of sannyasa, balding of head is the sign of death. Balding of head is the sign of death. Dharma Shastra strictly says that no persons, whether he might be Brahmin or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra, even the Chandala, he might not bald his hairs or shave his head at any cost. He must leave a small shika in all Chaturvarnas. In all Chaturvarnas, he must leave some shika, and the beard shaving and the head shaving must be done at a time only, not in different times. The both shavings must be done at a time. Once we do haircut and once we do shaving, it is not at all permitted in the Dharma Shastra. Then how come this shaving of head is permitted? When we come to this, again we come to Mahabharata for this only. When Ashwatthama Acharya killed all the Upapandavas under the direction of Duryodhana, the Ashwatthama was recaptured by Arjuna, Bhima and all. Automatically Arjuna standed and he took a firm decision to slaughter out Ashwatthama's head from his body. At that time, the Krishna gives an advice about Dharma Shastra that you must not do these things because he is a son of your Guru and he is a Brahmin. And as he is your Guru Putra, you must not hurt him at anything rather than in the battlefield. The battlefield is an exception for that. Then the Bhima asks about, he had killed all our sons, that too an innocent sons who don't have any rivalry with Duryodhana and all. What is the solution for this? We are having a huge amount of anger on Ashwatthama. At that time, Krishna gives this remedy of balding his head. Balding the head of Ashwatthama in front of society. Head balding or shaving the head in front of society or shaving the head is equal to death.
It is equivalent to killing.
Yeah, it is equivalent to killing. It is nothing but from that day he is totally void in the society, and the person who gets total head shaved, he is not at all eligible to do any Vedic performances. That's why you can see all our sannyasis who are sages or pitadipatis or matadipatis, they don't perform any Vedic ritual. That to the fire ritual, yagnas and yagas, they won't perform it. They will be seated in a place and they will be getting darshan of that. They will take the prasada from those people. They won't come in this Vedic ritual. That's why the parihara must be within the boundary of Dharma Shastra. As within the boundary of Dharma Shastra. As we know, Dharma Shastra is a very vast ocean of our religious rituals. We do have some of the complexes in that Vedic rituals and all the solutions, because each and everything, the daily deeds we do, the daily things we do perform in our daily life, it is under the framework of Dharma Shastra itself. Then coming to the astrological side, what will be the stand of Dharma Shastra in this? As we know, each and every person are affected by somehow 5 planets in 9 planets. Among 9 planets, 5 planets will be always troubling a person. Always. Because as we know, sun travels a month. He takes a month to come from one Rashi to one Rashi. And the moon takes hardly a month to go and around or across all Rashis. When sun and moon starts their transit, automatically the other Karaka Rashis or the Adhipatis, they turn void to our horoscopes. Automatically, 5 among 9 planets will be totally void with 1 person. And while giving the solutions in astrology, we must calculate the percentage of problem. Percentage of problem. Well, the best example for this is Kuja dosha, Mangala dosha, what we call as I don't know the English word accurately for that. The Mangala dosha.
Mangalik dosha.
Manglik dosha.
Mangalik dosha.
As we see that in each horoscope, among I think if we take randomly a 10 horoscope, among that 8 horoscope will be having Mangalika dosha. We can see that.
Correct. Correct.
Then how come 8 persons are totally different in their lives?
Definitely.
Because the frequency of Mangala dosha will vary from one bhava to another bhava. There are 3 measures to see Mangalika dosha, as you all know. One, Lagnat, if we calculate from Lagnat Vilomastane, Shukrat Vilomastane, and Chandrat Vilomastane. Lagnat Vilomastane means from Lagna, if we calculate as 1, automatically the even number houses 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. It is called as, we can see that Mangalika dosha.
Okay.
Same way from Shukra also. If the Mangala Graha is situated in the even number house of from the Shukra also, it is calculated as Mangalika dosha. And from Chandra also. And from Chandra means from our Rashi also, if the Mangala Graha is situated in the even number house also, it is calculated with Mangala dosha. When it comes to Mesha Rashi and Vrishchika Lagna, it is possible.
Correct.
As the Lagnadipati and Rashyadipati himself is Kuja. And Kuja is situated in the very 5th house. 5th house means it is, I think, a Meena Rashi.
Meena Rashi.
And from Mesha Rashi, the 12th house is Meena Rashi. In these consequences, whether the Mangalika dosha is applicable or not.
This is also like I have seen people also use 7th house for Mangalik dosha.
Yeah, that's what I will explain further. When we get this type of horoscopes, automatically we do locate the Mangala in the 7th, means Kendra Sthana, that is Meena Rashi. As it is the Panchama house from Vrishchika Lagna. And 12th house from Mesha Rashi. What the prediction says, or what the general astrology says is, Lagnat Panchama Bhave Sthita Kujan Darshayati Aputrakan. Darshayati Aputrakan. If the Mangala Graha is situated in the 5th house, then it purely says that the person who is having this type of horoscope will suffer from issues or for issues. And the Rashya Dvadasha Bhave Sthita Kuja means from 12th house, in the 12th house from the Rashi, if the Kuja is situated, then automatically he suffers a lot of discrimination in society. This is the original prediction about Kuja Graha, right?
Hmm.
If the Kujagraha is a person who, if the horoscope person is totally rich at this time, even after getting the fifth, in Panchama Bhava is having Kuja, and in 12th Bhava, in Dwadasha Bhava is also having Kuja. How come he is so rich? How come he is so abundant?
Correct.
The main thing is, as Kuja is only the Adhipati for Rashi and Lagna. When the sun and moon crosses Mesha Rashi and Vrishabha Rashi, automatically the positive yogas will be created.
Okay. Hmm.
The Shukra, the Kuja Shukra Sanyoga yoga in Mesha Rashi, and Shukra and Surya and Kuja Sanyoga in Vrishchika Rashi, and the same will be created in Meena Rashi also.
Hmm.
In Meena Rashi, when the sun comes along with the Jupiter, Aditya and Guru, if they join towards, and if the presence of Mangala is also there, automatically he will be very much abundant, as the Kendra Rashi reflects on all three Kendras also.
Hmm.
Mithuna Rashi, Kanya Rashi and Dhanu Rashi. This reflection gives a lot of financial abundance and the richness in society to the person having this horoscope. But with coming to Kuja Dasha or Kuja oriented problem, automatically his issue will come with a love marriage or intercaste marriage, or that issue might not be having any knowledge in education or anything, or it is totally in the negative part of life, or they might be away from the parents for higher studies and all. The Santana Saukhya is totally eradicated from that horoscope. The only thing we can see the prosperity of life in the materialistic beings. But coming to the personal life of that person, automatically he is and he will be hurted by issues. If we come to the next Rashi, Vrishabha Rashi and Vrishchika Lagna, Vrishabha Rashi and Vrishchika Lagna, there the Rashyadipati is Shukra, and Lagnadipati is Kuja. And if Kuja is present in the Ashwini Nakshatra Mesha Rashi or in the Mesha Rashi, automatically he will be not having a small offer of marriage in his life.
Okay.
The marriage oriented issue will be automatically generated in his life, and this discussion of marriage will start exactly within the age of 23. And he will be left unmarried up to 43 years. As Kuja Dasha Varsha is 20 years, right from the day of Vivaha Yoga, he will suffer 20 years for marriage.
Okay. This is something which I see today.
Yeah, no, it is totally in Samadhi Bhasha. That's why what had happened, all the Granthakartas, they had mentioned this sutras and all for us. They had planned it typically for this Kali Yuga only. The person who is totally in need of astrological assistance will get this type of assistances. As you people are struggling hard for or to given very enlightenment for this knowledge and all. But in Kali Yuga, the Samadhi Bhasha is made for this type of remedies only, because it is totally shaded with each and everything. The person who is having who is totally wicked in his behavior or cruel, he must not get the pariharas of Navagraha by this, by the main, by this, what we say, by this Dharma Shastras and all, by astrology and all. If they totally eradicate, they totally want to keep away the persons who are totally wicked in life. This Dharma Shastra and astrology is totally the persons who have and who do perform their life in a totally normal and general way, in a very soft and what we call soft and typical Indian way, or the person which is totally based on humanity, these type of persons, only these type of persons must get the astrological remedies. This was the main issue of our Grantakartas or our ancestors, Rishis and all. That's why the total astrology Granthas are written in Samadhi Bhasha only. Coming to that Shukra, if the Vrishchika Lagna, from Vrishchika Lagna, it will Mesha Rashi will be the 6th house. Then if we calculate from Vrishchika Lagna, the 6th house suggests that the Mangalika dosha. And automatically from Shukra, Rashyadipati Shukra also, the Kuja is in 12th house. Where 12th house and 6th house, it is totally, if we mingle this both, the result which comes out from the 12th Kuja and from the 6th Kuja means this person will get hurted by Mangala in 2 types. One with respect to marriage, and automatically if the marriage part is affected, the issue part is also totally affected for that. And what the remedy is suggested for this? As we know, the remedy for Kuja dosha is Kuja Shanti. We know that Kuja dosha, for Kuja dosha, Kuja Shanti is itself a remedy. But astrology says that Kuja is also a Karaka of serpent, of Sarpa.
Okay.
We do have a small stream line in, I think, Grantha by Madhvacharya called Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya. There, they suggest a different type of the avatars of Lord Vishnu to these 9 planets. Among those, Kujagraha will be maintained by the Narasimha avatara of Mahavishnu. Kujagraha will be maintained from the Narasimha avatar of Mahavishnu. What and all we come to see in Narasimha avatara? The suggestion made by Madhvacharya or any Pandit about the Upasana of Narasimha for Kuja dosha or the Mangalika dosha is not at all a fake word, because they had crafted Narasimha like that. We must not go on just on words. We must go on the picture of Narasimha. What is Narasimha having? Narasimha is having a lot of courage in himself. In Kuja dosha, person affected by Kuja dosha will lose his courage, will be left alone, or the person affected by Kuja dosha will having a lot of anger, and he will be very short-tempered person. And the second part, the avatar of Narasimha was taken for the small child Prahlada. That means Kuja dosha may also affect a kid or the issue-oriented problem. And Kuja dosha is also related to serpent or the snake, because while coming, the Narasimha, he came with Adishesha in his background. As we know, Adishesha is also one among the Navanagas. Naga is nothing but a serpent energy. The calculation taken from the 6th house of Vrishchika Lagna and the 12th house of Vrishabha Rashi comes to a clear extent that the person having this type of horoscope is affected by Naga dosha or Sarpa dosha. And automatically Sarpa dosha is interlinked for the issue of marriage and issue of the child also. This is a type, this is a small example. And also, if we come to Mithuna Rashi, leaving the Kuja same in the 6th house and the 11th house, if we come to Mithuna Rashi and calculate it, automatically from Mithuna Rashi, Mesha Rashi is the 11th house. When we see Mithuna Rashi, when we see the 11th Kuja in 11th house and 6th house from Vrishchika Lagna, automatically we can smell the small instinct of Preta Bada also. Preta Bada also. Why means it is totally clear that Mithuna Rashi is an Yamala Rashi. Buddha is not at all having his own sculpture and his own behavior. As in Mithuna Rashi, Chandra and Buddha collaborates together. Automatically, from Chandra also it is the 11th house, and from Buddha also it is 11th house. What we go through Granthas, the 11th house from Buddha, the 11th house from Buddha, if the Kuja is in the 11th house from Buddha, automatically the Buddha means the knowledgeful person who is past, because the Ekadasha Sthana is Arogya Sthana. It is maintained by Chandra. Chandra is present in with Buddha. If Buddha and Chandra are totally equal, as the Chandra moves from one Rashi to another Rashi, automatically the Buddha will be get affected and the mind diverts like anything. The ancestor person who is not at all having any, they are not at all okay, they are not at all, they were not at all having the money abundance or the Vivaha Yoga or Santana Yoga or anything, that spirit is yet alive and craving for the Pitrushapa remedies from this family. It suggests the same thing. These are the minute calculations and the combinations of graha which are suggested in astrology and elaborately suggested in Dharma Shastra. Coming to Parihara part, in coming sessions I will explain about all the Shukra, the part of Shukra and also the part of Rahu also, because I think in overall in astrology, this Kuja, Shukra and Rahu play an important role in order to create the yogas and to demolish or restrict and yogas. We'll do in next sessions.